What's up everyone, Darcblade here with a hunter's guide to the Spring Blossom Festival event quests. In this guide we're going to be going over all the event quests currently available and that should be available during the Spring Blossom Festival, trying to highlight for players what ones are essential, not essential, so on and so forth. Now I've divided all the event quests up into different categories, so let's dive straight into the video and talk about the basic quests. These are just basic event quests that don't really give anything special, but do yield normally more monster parts as the reward. These include Up at the Crack of Dawn, a 1-star low rank quest that doesn't require any hunter rank to participate in. This requires players to slay 12 Kestodons in the arena. Next is Chew the Fat, a 2-star low rank quest that requires no hunter rank to participate in. This has players taking on 2 Great Jagras in the Ancient Forest. Next is Yaku with That, a 4-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 6 or higher. This has players taking on a Zisiyaku and Kuluyaku in the special arena. Next is Kirin the Myth, a 5-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 8 or higher. This has players taking on 2 Kirin in the Coral Highlands. Next is the Poison Posse, which is a 5-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 8 or higher. This has players taking on all the monsters associated with the poison ailment, so that's Puke, Rathalos and Rathian, and it all takes place in the Ancient Forest. Next is Flesh Cleave to Bone, a 5-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 8 or higher. This has players taking on an Adogaron and Radaban in the special arena. Next is Gaze Upon the Dawn, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This has players taking on Zora Magdaros in the Everstream. This is basically the Zora Magdaros optional quest on demand. Next is This Is How Revolts Start, a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on a Diablos and Black Diablos in the Wildspire Waste, and is a good way to farm dash juice, but apart from that, nothing too special. And finally is Keeper of the Otherworld, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 16 or higher. This has players taking on Xeno'jiiva in the Confluence of Fates. Again, it's a way of farming Xeno'jiiva without waiting for the optional hunt to come around in rotation. So those are the quests that I would consider basic quests. They're nothing too special, you don't get any special rewards from them, so you don't have to worry about missing out on them. Anyway, the next set of quests are the achievement quests. These quests and hunts help with players who are looking to complete their achievements and trophies. These are normally aimed at getting the large or small gold crowns. These include Deep Green Blues, which is a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on all the monsters associated with the Ancient Forest, so that's Great Jagras, Tobikadashi, Puke, Rathalos and Anjanath. Next is Wildspire Bolero, again a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on all the monsters associated with the Wildspire Waste, so that's Kuluyaku, Giratodus, Baroth, Rathian and Diablos. Next is the Coral Waltz, a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. Again, this has players taking on all the monsters associated with the Coral Highlands, so that's Zisiyaku, Paolumu, Pink Rathian and Legiana. Next is the Effluvial Opera, which is again a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on all the monsters associated with the Rotten Veil, so that's Great Gyros, Radaban, Adogaron and Basiljuice, and then finally is Rock and Roll Recess. Again a 7-star high rank quest requiring hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher, and this has players taking on all the monsters associated with the Elder's Recess, Bar Elder Dragons, so that's Dodogame, Lavasioth, Uragan and Azure Rathalos. Now, for all these quests I've mentioned, there's an increased chance of getting all these monsters at the small or large gold crown size, making these quests ideal for players who are specifically going for trophies and achievements. But anyway, let's move on to the next set of event quests, which is the hunter rank quests. These help level up your hunter rank quite quickly by offering bonus hunter rank points as their reward. This includes Snow and Cherry Blossoms, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 30 or higher. This has players taking on a Tempered Pink Rathian and Tempered Legiana in the Coral Highlands. Next is A Nose for an Eye, again a 9-star high rank quest requiring hunters to be hunter rank 30 or higher. This has players taking on a Tempered Anjanath and Tempered Azure Rathalos in the Ancient Forest. And finally is No Tomorrow for Usurpers, a 9-star high rank quest, again requiring hunters to be hunter rank 30 or higher. This has players taking on just a single Tempered Basiljuice in the Elder's Recess. As I said, these quests are for players who want to level up their hunter rank quite quickly. A bonus for these quests as well is that they're all fighting tempered monsters, so it's a nice way to bulk up your tempered investigations if you don't have many. But anyway, let's move on to what I consider one of the more essential group of event quests, which are the weapon and armor quests. These include layered armors as well. These quests allow you to craft various armor, layered armors, and weapons. A lot of these are collaboration events with other IPs, so they won't be available on all systems. For example, the Horizon Zero Dawn crossover events. But anyway, the first is the USJ, Universal Studios Japan, Gold Star Treatment, which is a 3-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 4 or higher. This has players taking on 3 Great Jagras in the arena. Now you're going to find a little bit of crossover here, as these Great Jagras include the small and large Gold Crown Great Jagrasses. But for doing this quest, you'll receive materials to craft the Azure Starblade Longsword, as well as the Palico Azure Star armor set. The sword can later be upgraded to a high ranking sword, but these are both low rank weapon and armors. Anyway, next is Lessons of the Wild, a 5-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 6 or higher. This requires players to slay 8 Barnos in the arena. And upon completion of this quest, you'll receive materials to craft the Watcher Palico armor set, as well as the Felined Watcher Grinder. This is part of the collaboration event with Horizon Zero Dawn. Anyway, next is the Proven, again another collaboration event with Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This has players taking on a giant Anjanath in the Ancient Forest. Again, this will count as your large Gold Crown Anjanath, and for completing this quest you'll receive Nora Brave trophies that can be used to craft the Aloy Bow and Aloy full armor set. Next is a Rush of Blood, a crossover event with Mega Man, which is a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on 2 Dogoron in the arena. This will grant you materials to craft the Mega Man Palico armor set. Next is the USJ Blazing Azure Star, which is the second part of the Universal Studios Japan crossover event. This is a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on a giant Gold Crown Dodogama and small Gold Crown Azure Rathalos in the Elder's Recess. And upon completion of this quest, you'll receive materials to upgrade the Azure Starblade Longsword, as well as materials to craft the Azure Starlord Alpha armor set, which is strongly advisable. Next is Code Red, which is the collaboration event with Devil May Cry. This is a 8-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 14 or higher. This has players taking on an Anjanath, a Dogoron, Rathalos, and then Teostra in the arena. And upon completion of this quest, you'll receive red orbs that can be used to craft the Dante's Devil Sword Charge Blade, as well as the Dante Alpha armor set. The Dante armor set is unique in that it's not a full armor set, so you can mix and match it with other pieces, making it very useful. Also, the red orbs are going to be used in crafting the Dante layered armor set later on down the line. Anyway, next moving on to SDF, Silent Deadly Fierce, which is the collaboration event with Assassin's Creed. This is an 8-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 14 or higher, and it has players taking on a Devil Joe, a Dogoron, and then Lunostra in the special arena. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get Senu's Feathers that can be used to craft the Bayek layered armor set, as well as the specialized tool Assassin's Hood, which is another mantle for our hunters. Anyway, next is Contract Woodland Spirits, which is part 2 of the Witcher 3 crossover event with Monster HunterWorld. This is a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher, and has players taking on an Ancient Leshen in the Ancient Forest. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to upgrade your Witcher's Silver Sword, craft the Ciri full armor set and weapon, as well as potentially get materials called mutagens to craft the Ciri and Geralt layered armor set. So that's it for the main collaboration events that yield weapons and armor. But there are more quests out there that offer such items. These include Where Sun Meets Moon, which is a 3-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 4 or higher. This has players taking on a Puke Puke and Tobikadachi in the Ancient Forest. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the fluffy dual blades. Next is the Timberland Troublemakers, a 4-star low rank quest requiring hunters to be hunter rank 4 or higher. This has players taking on 2 Anjanath, and upon completion you'll get materials to craft the Bristly Hammer. Next is Every Hunter's Dream, which is a 5-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 8 or higher, and has players taking on a Paolumu and Rathalos in the arena. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Wyvern's Ignition Greatsword, arguably one of the best greatswords in the game. Next is Scrapping with the Shamos, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This requires players to hunt 13 Shamos in the Coral Highlands. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Sealed Eye Patch. Next is Wiggle Me This, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This has players capturing and delivering 10 Wigglers from the Coral Highlands. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Wiggler head armor. Next is a Flash in the Pan, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This has players taking on 3 Zitsuyaku in the arena, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft Shadow Shades. Next is Egg Lovers United, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This has players taking on a giant Kuluyaku in the arena. This will count towards the Kuluyaku Gold Crown, but on top of that, you'll get materials to craft the Kuluyaku Head Armor. Now the Kuluyaku Head Armor, Shadow Shades, Wiggler Head Armor, and the Sealed Eye Patch, all of the materials required to craft these are also going to be needed later when it comes to crafting the layered versions of these headpieces. So keep that in mind. Anyway, let's continue. Next is Midnight Mayhem, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This has players taking on 10 Gastrodons in the arena, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Shooting Star Lance. Next is a Royal Pain, a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 12 or higher. This has players taking on a Rathian and Pink Rathian in the Wildspire Waste, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Mosswine Mask and the Faux Feline Layered Armor sets. And finally is King's No Fear, which again is a 7-star high rank quest requiring hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on a Rathalos and a Zero Rathalos in the Elder's Recess. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Sealed Eye Patch and Wiggler Head Layered Armor sets. Remember, you'll also need materials from previous quests to craft these layered armors. So that's about it for quests that yield normal weapons and armor. Granted, there were a few crossovers in categories here. For example, a few of these quests, like Egg Lovers United, provided players with a large gold crown, which players could argue falls under the achievement quest category. But I'm just trying to point out which quests do what. Anyway, let's move on to the next essential set of quests, which are Gamma Armor set quests. These are quests that allow you to craft Gamma Armor sets as well as different various layered armor sets. First is the Heart of the Nora, the 3rd crossover event with Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on 2 Temple Devil Joes in the Ancient Forest, one being a small gold crown, the other being a large gold crown. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get Aloy tickets that are used to craft the Aloy full Gamma Armor set, as well as the Aloy Layered Armor set. Next is the Whisper of Whitebane, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Kirin in the Coral Highlands, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get Kirin tickets that can be used to craft the Kirin Gamma Armor set, as well as the Blossom Layered Armor set. Next is the Deathly Quiet Curtain, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Valhazak in the Rotten Vale, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get Valhazak tickets that can be used to craft the Valhazak Gamma Armor set, as well as the Death Stench Layered Armor set. Next is the Scorn of the Sun, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Teostra in the Elder's Recess, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get Teostra tickets that can be used to craft the Teostra Gamma Armor set, as well as the Dante Layered Armor set. Remember, you'll also need red orbs from the event quest Code Red to craft the Dante Layered Armor. Next is the Eye of the Storm, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Kushala Daora in the Elder's Recess, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Kushala Gamma Armor set, as well as the Guild-Crossed Layered Armor set. Next is When Blue Dust Surpasses Red Lust, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Lunostra in the Elder's Recess, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Lunostra Gamma Armor set, and depending what system you're on, the Sakura Layered Armor set. But we're going to be talking more about that layered armor set in a minute. Anyway, next is Undying Alpenglow, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Zora Magdaros in the Everstream. And for completing this quest, you'll get Zora Magdaros tickets that can be used to craft the Zora Gamma Armor set, as well as the Origin Layered Armor set. Next is Like a Moth to the Flame, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva in the Confluence of Fates. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get Xeno'jiiva tickets that can be used to craft the Xeno Gamma Armor set, as well as the Commissioner Layered Armor set. And then finally is the Fury of El Dorado, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 16 or higher. This has players repelling an Arch-Tempered Kulve-Taroth in the caverns of El Dorado. This is basically the Kulve-Taroth siege now. Anyway, going up to the Gathering Hub to start the siege with your fellow hunters, and completing this quest will yield materials to craft the Kulve-Taroth Gamma Armor set, as well as potentially receiving some of the best weapons in the game. But unfortunately, while you can craft the Gamma Armor set, The weapons are down to pure RNG to if you get what you want. Now with this set of quests, I do consider them essential, although you don't have to constantly farm them. Getting enough to craft the layered armor as well as the gamma armor set is normally enough, although you can farm them more often if you want, because a lot of them do yield stream stones and the rarer jewels, but they are tough. But anyway, let's move on to the next set of quests, which are farming quests. These are quests that can be played normally multiple times for useful rewards. Maybe not the best rewards in the game, but nonetheless, it can come in handy. First, and my personal favourite, is Greeting the Gluttons, a 4-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 6 or higher. This has players taking on a Great Jagras, Puke and Paolumu in the special arena, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get quite a few meal vouchers. These can be used in the canteen to ensure that you get the food buffs that you want. Next is Wicked Wildspire Warfare, a 5-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 8 or higher. This has players taking on a Diablos and Tuberov in the special arena, and upon completion of this quest, you will receive quite a few armor spheres, although these are normally the low ranking armor spheres. Anyway, next is Triple Threat Throwdown, a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on a Great Jagras, Great Gyros and Dodogama in the special arena, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get quite a few decorations, although these are normally the low ranking decorations. Next is Rolling with the Uragan, a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on 2 Uragan in the Elder's Recess, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get quite a few armor spheres, but these are normally the higher ranking armor spheres this time. Next is a Simple Task, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 30 or higher. This has players delivering 10 gourmet shroom caps in the ancient forest. Now there are no large monsters on this quest, but the place is littered with tempered monster tracks, so this is a good quest to farm if you want to bulk up your list a little bit. Next is Tracking the Delivery, again a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players collecting and delivering 10 blue beryl in the Elder's Recess. Again, the place has no large monsters, but is littered with tempered monster tracks. But these are normally tempered elder dragons, so again is a way to bulk up your investigation list. Anyway, next is the Greatest Jagras, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on a buffed up Great Jagras in the ancient forest. And for taking this quest on, you'll receive quite a few decorations. And then finally, the Name's Lavasioth, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on a buffed up Lavasioth in the Elder's Recess, and much like the Greatest Jagras, it's a way to farm decorations. So that's it for the general farming quests. Let's move on to what I call the Test Your Might quests. These are normally tough quests, but offer stream stones as their rewards. First is Relish the Moment, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on a Tempered Devil Joe in the Elder's Recess, and upon completion of this quest, there's a chance of getting sullied or shining stream stones. Next is the Throne Taker, a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on a Tempered Teostra, Tempered Lunostra and Tempered Nergigante in the Elder's Recess. And once again, upon completion of this quest, there's a chance of getting sullied or shining stream stones as your reward. And then finally, the last Test Your Might quest is a Visitor from Eorzea Extreme, which is part 2 of the collaboration event with Final Fantasy XIV. This is a 9-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 50 or higher. This has players taking on an Extreme or Tempered Behemoth in the Elder's Recess. Teamwork is definitely going to be needed for this, but if you are able to bring this beast down, you'll be rewarded with the Draken Layered Armor set, a title for your guild card, as well as stream stones. But before we go, there's one subcategory of event quests I want to include here. These are challenge quests. Now, challenge quests are found up in the Gathering Hub by talking to the Arena Lass. The ones I've listed here are the ones that offer armor as their rewards, but of course you'll be completing these quests in a challenge environment, so you'll have to pick from preset loadouts. These include Down the Dark and Muddy Path, part 1 of the Street Fighter V collaboration event with Monster HunterWorld. This is a 3-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 3 or higher. This has players taking on a giant Baroth as Ryu in the arena, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get tickets to craft the Ryu full armor set. Next is Empress in Full Bloom, which is part 2 of the Street Fighter collaboration event, which is a 7-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 12 or higher. This requires players to slay a Pink Rathian as Sakura, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the Sakura full armor set, and these materials can also be used in conjunction with the Lunostra tickets to craft the Sakura layered armor set. Next is the Awakened Satsue no Hado, an 8-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 13 or higher. This has players taking on a Nergigante as Ryu, and upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft a high-ranking Ryu full armor set. Next is the Vespoid Infestation, which is a 2-star low rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 4 or higher. This requires players to slay 30 Vespoids whilst avoiding a Puke in the special arena. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials to craft the low ranking King and Queen Beetle armor sets. And then finally is the Gadulaka Outbreak, which is a 6-star high rank quest that requires hunters to be hunter rank 11 or higher. This requires players to defeat 10 Gadulaka in the arena whilst avoiding a Baroth. And upon completion of this quest, you'll get materials that can be used to craft the Gadulaka Palico armor set if you haven't done so already, or the Butterfly layered armor set. So that's it, those are all the current event quests that are going to be here for the Spring Blossom Festival. A disclaimer before I go though, Capcom have been known to introduce new quests and that during seasonal events, so there may be a chance that the Arch-Tempered No Gigante quest pops up, but if it does, I'll be sure to do an updated video. Remember as well that some of these categories do overlap. For example, like I said, some of the quests included in the weapons and armor sections do have monsters that are classed as large or small gold crowns, so could be also included in the achievement section. But I've just tried to divide them up as best as I could. Personally, the essential ones are the weapons and armor category, as well as the gamma armor set category. But nonetheless, I hope you found this video helpful to what is worth doing this Spring Blossom Fest. And until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you a hunter's guide to the Spring Blossom Festival event quests in Monster Hunter World. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.